Okay, so looks like I am live by myself. Oh, I see there's a few of you here. Welcome. I apologize for being late today. I see I am almost 10 minutes late. This is in our final days of tomorrow. Everyone leaves on Sunday. It's been an amazing week. Lots of fun. We had an incredible band here last night. 5 guys playing traditional Latin music, and they were amazing. And it was a late night, and frankly, a lot of late nights. So I'm a little more tired than usual, and had a lot to do this morning to be ready for this. One of the things I just came from recording, we are now recording all of our coaching course videos. We've recorded probably 24, 25 videos in the last, this week so far. Next week, we're going to be recording a lot more. We'll probably be doing 20 videos, 15 to 20 videos per day, because everyone leaves on Sunday. And I've got the week until Friday afternoon. We're going to be focused on recording videos. That's it, nothing else. Just getting those videos done. Because we want that course to be, that course we've said will be live in April, and that's what we promised. That's what we're going to do. We have a lot of work to do. I mean, all the writing is done, but we need to get all the videos done and get all that uploaded, and that takes some time. So we're working on that now. We're focused on, we're still recording every day, even though we're in the fruit festival. But what it means is I have very little free time. So when our evening activities end by last night by 10 o'clock, I still have work to do every night. So it's making things even later than usual. But I hope all's well. I'm going to say hello to some folks here. Lime Linde, good to see you. Rachel Green, hello there. Good morning. Good to see you, Sergio. Good morning to you from Playa del Carmen. Playa del Carmen. Where exactly is that, Playa del Carmen? I'm going to actually be heading to Mexico on Saturday. I'm going to be in Cancun and Tulum. I think Playa del Carmen's not that far. Want to organize a talk? I'd be happy to come to Playa del Carmen. I think am I right that it's between Tulum and Cancun? I think so. I've got to get out of the country to, it's under Cancun. That's what I thought. So I'm going to be in your area. Let me know if you think you can organize, if you're interested in setting something up. I know it's last minute. If there'd be people interested, I would be happy to come and give a talk there. English or Spanish, your choice. Better in English, but I understand it is what it is. So I'm actually coming just to have a little bit of downtime, but screw downtime. If I can always give a talk, I'd be happy to. All right, Paulina, hello there. Good to see you. Sergio just got done eating a mono mango meal. Good for you. What are your thoughts on doctors like Michael Clapper and Dr. Greger? Any opinions about whole food plant-based diet versus raw food plant-based diet? Sure. And another joke I used a long time ago. I remember part of our Creating Perfect Health system, there's a video which was a live lecture at an event 20 years ago. And someone said to me, do you have an opinion on XYZ? I don't remember what it was. And I said, yeah, lucky for you, I have an opinion on everything. I mean, who doesn't? I know both Michael Clapper and Michael Greger. Michael Clapper I've known now for 30 plus years. I was at his house just a couple months ago in South Florida. He's a very nice guy, one of the nicest people I've ever known, and a very intelligent guy. Of course, he is both these guys are allopathic doctors, and they get brainwashed in medical school, and it's difficult to recover from that. And although I think Clapper has done a much better job than Greger has. Greger is very much ensconced in the medical and scientific world. And of course, science, there's nothing wrong with science. The problem is that it's often not applied very well. In fact, much of what is passed off as science today is completely bogus, because it's paid for by commercial interests who massage the data so that they can demonstrate what they want to, which is usually about selling some kind of a product. Okay, and so it's just not as useful as it could be. But let's be absolutely clear about this. Cooking food destroys nutrients and creates toxic compounds. while people like Gregor, may say that sometimes. I mean, I think he's actually made a comment that the ideal would be eat, raw diet, although he doesn't do it himself and doesn't advocate it. Clapper, has always eaten, not always, he's now 40 years vegan. And that's fantastic, right? Amazing. But eating cooked food, cooked food's toxic, period. Every single time you cook food, you create toxic compounds. And the body reacts to all cooked food as if it's been poisoned, but only because it has. It has been poisoned. So, in fact, a year ago in, I think it was late November, I think it was late November, 2019. Michael Clapper and I were co-keynote speakers at a big vegan event in Tel Aviv, Israel. And we stayed at the same hotel. We had a lot of downtime, which we spent together. Again, I've known him a long time. And so we went up and spent several hours one day in Casadia, an old Roman town, an hour or an hour and a half north of Tel Aviv. I happen to have a very dear friend who lives there. So we went and explored the ruins and went to the beach and went and spent some time at her house. We took another day and went down to meet the African Israelites, the black community that lives in southern Israel in the desert. We went together. I rented a car and drove Michael and his wife and a friend of mine down there, the four of us. We spent the whole day together. We spent a half day together on a catamaran. We shared meals together. We spent a Shabbat dinner at a friend's house together. We had a lot of time together. And our very last night, the last official event, was a dinner where they asked Michael and I questions. It was all of the supporters, and this was put on by a nonprofit. And so they had a lot of their donors were there. It was actually the house of, a very beautiful house of a donor close to the beach. And they asked us questions. And as we were leaving that night, Michael said to me, he said, your example, he said, looking at you and your energy, example, physique, make it obvious why we should all be eating at least, I don't remember now if he said a raw vegan diet or a lot more raw food. Okay. So, everything is relative, and someone who eats a whole food cooked vegan diet is definitely going to be better off than someone who's eating a bunch of processed crap or someone who's eating animal products. However, eating any cooked food at all, is taking you away from getting to the highest level of health possible. You cannot achieve the highest level of health while eating cooked food. So I'm not, do it if you want to do it, but there's no way it's ever going to be the same thing. No possible chance. And again, remember that some of these doctors, there are some, by the way, who've said things like, that radical approach turns people off. And so they I think, consciously, it may be a way of justifying their own choices because they're not willing to give certain things up. But they also say, yeah, but if we talk about, what's optimal, then a lot of people aren't gonna pay attention because it's too much for them. Yeah, whatever. I don't, that's my job, is to speak the truth, not to try to make it easy for people to hear it. It may not be easy for some people to hear. It's still the truth. Okay, an optimal raw vegan diet is always going to be what's best for every single human being, every single one. Now, some people aren't going to feel very well or function very well initially when they adopt an optimal diet. Why not? Because their body's going to be detoxifying. Okay, I've got a lovely person here, a practitioner who's amazing, an incredible person, helping a lot of people out there, but was a little defensive, justifying her cooked vegan diet at first. And she said to me last night, she said, I'm doing some serious detoxification. She's been here now 5 days eating only fruit. She's detoxifying. That's what happens when you stop eating cooked food. Your body begins detoxifying because it has to, even after years of a whole food cooked vegan diet. Okay, there's no comparison whatsoever. You can do that because it's better than a lot of other stuff, but it's a long way from what's optimal, a long way. Anyone who's ever spent 5 4 weeks or more eating a raw vegan diet, an optimal raw vegan diet, and then goes and eats optimally, anyone who's ever, let me try that again, who's ever spent 4 weeks or more eating an optimal raw vegan diet, and then goes and eats any cooked food, even what's considered very healthy, whole foods, cooked vegan food, they're going to feel much worse, because putting that stuff in the body immediately begins detoxifying. Okay, when the body's clean enough to do that, it'll do that. Okay, now, the average person who's eating cooked food every day is not detoxifying when they eat cooked food, because they don't have the energy to do it. They can't do that. But if the body's clean enough and you put cooked food in it, they immediately, and I've had this experience, right? I'm now 29 and a half years eating fruit and salad, but I've eaten some cooked food. And every time I've done it, my body has said, that was a mistake. Why'd you do that? I don't feel nearly as good when I eat cooked food. Okay? Just so you know. All right. We have a couple super chats here. Amalia Garcia, hello Amalia, has made a $5 Canadian contribution. Said, you said that exercising and water fasting increase muscle loss. This seems counterintuitive. Could you please explain why? Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want you to notice, Amalia, that fasting is undertaken by every species in nature when it's sick enough or badly enough injured. And if you've ever had a sick enough cat or dog, you will see that they do what these two cats who are not fasting. They just had breakfast a little while ago. But these two cats sitting on the couch over there don't move, right? They'll spend most of the day resting. And when animals are fasting, they do exactly the same thing. They don't move any more than necessary. Obviously, if moving was somehow good for the body, that's what animals would be doing in nature, but they don't. They don't do anything, okay? That's what's optimal. That's what happens in nature over and over again. It's what we need to do too. The reason why is very simple. Muscle's a more efficient source of fuel than fat is. When you are being active, you increase your body's caloric needs and your body consumes more muscle. Okay, that's simply what happens. All right? Okay, let's see here. Let me scroll down here. Sergio says, I'd love to get to meet you before fasting with you. What are your plans in Mexico? I wouldn't want to interrupt your vacation, however. Okay, so thank you, Sergio. Well, I mean, honestly, the plan is I'm going to be working every morning. I've got several hours of calls and emails and other things I need to do. I have all kinds of things I'm working on right now. So I'm writing a book. I've got plans to do for some work happening here. I may be involved in I probably won't be doing too much for the course because Fran's got that handled without me while I'm not here. But just doing my normal calls every weekend and broadcasts keep me pretty busy. So I don't have a lot of free time scheduled. As I mentioned, I'm always happy. If you can organize a group of people, we can talk about this maybe offline. I'd be willing to come to Playa del Carmen to speak because that's something I'm absolutely passionate about. I love sharing the message. We'll be happy to do it. Other than that, I mean, my plan is to just have downtime. I'm going by myself. I'm an introvert. I like being alone. That's when when it's time for me to heal and recover and it's not healing. For me, it's just having some time to rest because it's been like a full sprint now for a year. I'm going to take just a little bit of downtime, not that much, but a little bit of downtime. So, but if you can organize something, great. I'd be happy to meet you. We can make that happen. If not, maybe there's a raw vegan restaurant in Tulum. Maybe we can meet there one night for dinner. It's not optimal. Or, if you prefer, maybe we can meet and share a watermelon somewhere, something like that. Whatever we can get. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of delicious things there. Okay, so why don't you write to me offline? info@tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com and I'll get back to you. Okay? Ian, hello there, Ian. And by the way, thanks for a contribution, Sergio. Ian has made a £5 contribution, says, hi again from Thailand. Can you please share some pain management techniques as mentioned in your video of Stewart's fast with osteoporosis? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Let's see. There are two techniques that I use primarily. The third, I'll start with one that I wasn't even thinking about. As you probably remember, Ian, I'm a Reiki master, and so I offer people Reiki, and often while they're fasting, if they're in pain, I simply put my hands on their body where they're feeling pain. Usually within 15 seconds, people feel a tremendous amount of relief. And this is something that anyone can do. You can do this for yourself. You know, if you're feeling pain in your chest, you can just get some things moving. You envision the energy coming in through your crown chakra, coming through your heart and out through your hands. Most people realize a significant amount of benefit from doing that. But there are two other techniques that I think are perhaps even more powerful. And the first one is called progressive relaxation. So you lay somewhere. I mean, I suppose you don't have to be lying down, but I think it's most effective if you're lying down. You start with your feet. You clench the muscles in your feet, and then you release them. You work your way up your legs, clenching your muscles, releasing one muscle group at a time. To your torso, your abdominal muscles, your chest, your pectoral muscles, everything. You do your hands up your arms to your shoulders, the muscles in your neck, your face. And as we clench and release, what happens is we tend to relax more, okay? And when we are in pain, what tends to happen is we tighten everything up, and then it hurts more. So by consciously relaxing the body, we can usually feel a significantly lower degree of pain. Okay, so this is something I'd recommend doing. This works really well. This technique and the one I'm about to share with you are techniques that are used by chronic pain sufferers. Those people who are in chronic pain and are having trouble. Oops, I didn't realize all these people. Sorry about this, people on Instagram. I guess I'd stopped the flow. So I see there's a lot more of you. Hello there. Good to see you here. And so these are techniques that you can use as well to help reduce pain by relaxing. The second technique, or third technique, second one that I was talking about originally, is a visualization technique. And the way it works is very simple. What you do is you lie down or even sit comfortably, whatever's most comfortable for you. For most people, it's probably lying down. Although if you're more comfortable sitting up, sit up, that's fine. You close your eyes and you imagine yourself in your favorite or one of your favorite places on the planet, okay? Real or imagined. It doesn't have to be a real place. It could be an imaginary place. It doesn't make any difference. But it has to be some place that you really, really love, someplace you're gonna feel really comfortable. So let's use it as an example, a tropical beach, okay? Most people, you're in Thailand, Ian, I'm sure you love being on the beach. Most people do. We feel comfortable on the beach. We relax, feel at peace. We feel the tranquility. So what you do is you imagine yourself lying on the beach, you close your eyes, and you imagine if you picked up your head and open your eyes, what would you see, okay? And then you note everything that you see, and then you note everything that you hear and everything that you feel. So for instance, you might see your feet. You might see the waves. You might see seagulls and pelicans. You might see a palm tree overhead and the blue sky and the sunshine. You might feel the towel under your back and the sand under your feet. I'm too tall for most towels, so my feet are on the sand. I can feel the sand under the towel under my back. I can feel the sun on my body. I can feel the breeze, maybe some salt spray, right? I can hear the sound of the ocean, the seagulls, the wind in the palm trees. I'm going to engage all of my senses, because when we engage all of our senses, what happens is our brain actually believes, right, that we're there. And when we're there, what happens? We feel relaxed. And so this is a way that most people can dramatically relax the body. And again, as we relax, what happens? Less pain. Okay, we tend to feel much more comfortable that way. I wish I'm using my phone right now to be live here on Instagram. If I wasn't, I would take a picture of those two kitties right now. Hi guys, you heard me talking about you, huh? They both opened their eyes. Too cute. So these are techniques that are helpful for people with chronic pain. who don't get the relief they want from drugs or medications, or maybe don't want to take as many drugs or medications as they would otherwise need. This can help reduce that quite a bit. And for most people, I think they self-report about a 70% reduction in pain. So it's pretty powerful. Okay, it's pretty powerful. It's what I'd recommend doing if you can. All right, let's see. Let me go back up here to Super Chats. Rachel says, hi, Loren, hope you enjoyed the Fruit Festival. Why do joints sometimes make a clicking noise? Thank you. Okay, it's a really great question. First of all, let's talk about the Fruit Festival still going on. It's amazing. I mean, honestly, I've heard that fruit festivals, many festivals have often run out of food. I've been at somewhere, all of a sudden they didn't have enough of certain things and the fruit got kind of sparse. We've never done that because we do just the opposite. We make sure we always have way more than we eat. I mean, obviously, I announced the other night that we were going to cancel all further activities so people could just sit around and eat all the time. We didn't actually do that, but we should, because we have so much food, way more than we need. We always buy way more than necessary. We're actually losing money every year on the Fruit Festival, but it's okay. I mean, one of the things that happens is people come and they realize how spectacularly beautiful this place, and they meet. I think this time we had 6, maybe 7 or 8 clients here, plus all of our volunteers who all fast with me as clients 3 or more times. Well, 2 of them only once, all the rest 3 or more times. And so, there's all these people here, in addition to the guests who've come in from outside, there's all these people who've already fasted with us. And anyone who hasn't fasted leaves here realizing they need to come here and fast. And that means, we cover the cost of the festival. And it's just getting the word out. But we're losing money because we spend way too much money on food. We still have more than 100 kilos of jackfruit sitting right here on my patio. We had jackfruit yesterday. We'll have it again today or tomorrow. We've had amazing mangoes, several varieties, and sapotes and chocolate sapotes and caimitos and all kinds of amazing, delicious fruits, papayas and watermelons and canary melons and gallia melons and cantaloupes and so much more, granadas and grenadillas, delicious fruits. And we have an amazing group as always. We've had some great activities, amazing yoga classes. We actually did one yoga class in the evening, which meant I was able to get to it because my mornings are always busy. I've always missed all the yoga classes, but I made one this year. We had this amazing band, as I mentioned. We had a bonfire the other night. We have another bonfire coming up. We have an ecstatic dance tomorrow night. Today, everyone goes to waterfalls, almost everyone. This is the first time I'm not going to make the trip to the waterfalls. I just have so much going on here. I'm not going to be able to take the whole day because it's a whole day trip. So Fran will lead the group to the waterfall today. And we were there yesterday on top. Today they're actually going all the way down into the nature preserve. For the first time ever, here it is. I'm not going for the first time. And this is the first time ever we're doing this trip where we actually own the land because we bought it 3 weeks ago. And I'm not going to even get a chance to go there myself. But, oh well, life is busy right now. Why do joints make clicking noises? I saved that for the end because I'm not really sure. I think it's partly because of dehydration and the loss of synovial fluid and cartilage, which helps the joint glide one over the other. I think that's part of what's going on, but there may be more to it than that. So dehydration is certainly part of what's happening. Okay, I wish I could tell you more. And remind me, Rachel, we are scheduled, is it for Sunday or Saturday? Let me know, please. I'm not sure if I remember to put it on my calendar. Stephanie, hello there. Good morning, Loren. Sounds like the week was a ton of fun. I was there in spirit. Yeah, it's been amazing so far. We still have lots of cool things happening. Today's trip should be a lot of fun for everybody. As I said, the band was great. We were dancing last night. Really, really wonderful music. Quite different than last year. We had a reggae band. This year it was merengue and bachata and cumbia and some of the other Latin rhythms. I'm not an expert in them, but I learned a few in some dances last night. Great food, great talks and classes, yoga classes. We still have a permaculture tour coming up tomorrow that I'll give. We have another bonfire, as I mentioned, the ecstatic dance. What else? We have a ping pong tournament coming up. I'm in the semifinals. I'll be playing Katie probably tomorrow. And then, well, yeah, tomorrow we're doing the semifinals and then the final match. It looks like it's going to be Fran and either Katie or I, most likely. This looks like is what's happening, because Fran has to play somebody else, but he's playing someone that has very little experience, and Fran has a lot. Fran is really, really good at it. So it's going to be Fran. It could be Fran and Katie, a married couple, or it could be Fran and I. It's going to be one or the other. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, thanks so much for your message and your contribution. I've forgotten to thank everyone, Rachel and Stephanie and the others, for your contributions as well. Rachel's back, £5 contribution. Wishing you a happy holiday, rest, relax, sleep, and eat all your favorite fruits. Thank you so much. I promise you I will do exactly those things. I mean, I don't know how much rest I'll actually do. You know, for me, rest is about doing a little bit less work. Maybe I'll be able to get to bed earlier because I won't be as busy working. I still have plenty of work to do, but I'm planning on body surfing. I'm staying on the beach. Both in Cancun and Tulum. I'll be body surfing every day if there's waves. That's one of my favorite things to do. You know, getting a little bit of sun, getting all the waves I can, looking for the best quality fruit possible. That's always on the top of the list, of course. But thanks so much for your kind comments. Beta Scoville has made a $2 contribution and says, can a dog survive on a raw vegan diet? Dogs can survive on a raw vegan diet, but to thrive, they need bones as well. So if you can get them like steak bones, they actually extract something from the bones that they need and don't thrive without. But all they need is bones and raw vegan diet, and they're perfectly healthy. Cats, on the other hand, are obligate carnivores. So they actually need to have meat in order to be healthy. But dogs do not need meat. They just need bones. Okay, so if you're giving dogs bones and raw food, they'll be perfectly healthy every time. Okay? That's true for all dogs. Dogs are omnivores and do really, really well on a vegan diet as long as they have bones as well. All right. Amalia Garcia has also said, made another 5 Canadian contribution and said, so does this biological principle of muscle loss when exercising apply to any diet with a negative caloric intake or just water fasting? Well, that's a good question. It's definitely exacerbated when water fasting because of the fact that there's no calories coming in. Honestly, I don't know what happens other times. It may not be an issue any other time, and it may depend on how much fat somebody has. I'm not really sure. But, you know, if, Amalia, it sounds like what you're telling me, reading between the lines here, is that you want to fast and you want to lose as much weight as possible. You're carrying excess body weight, okay? The thing to do, you know, here's the thing. There's always a reason why there's excess body fat. And it's not just because you've eaten too much or maybe not eaten optimally. Obviously, eating too many calories and eating the wrong foods, eating things that aren't really healthy for us, are going to contribute to the formation of excess body fat, right? That's an obvious thing. But there's other reasons, and toxicity and other issues also impact the body's ability to eliminate excess body fat and cause the body to store excess body fat. The most important thing you can do is to allow your body the optimal conditions to cleanse and heal itself. Okay? People who are exercising while fasting are not coming close to getting the benefits that they could be getting from the process. They are making a huge mistake because they are getting far less benefit than would otherwise be possible for themselves. And so there's no way they're going to come close to getting the same benefits. And that means there's no way they're going to come close to being as healthy as they could be. If, on the other hand, someone allows the body the chance to cleanse and heal as completely as possible, after the fast, if they keep eating an optimal diet, the diet I recommend, they're going to lose all the excess fat anyway. Okay? They don't need to lose it all while fasting. That should not be the objective. The objective is about cleansing and healing. The weight loss that occurs should be a side effect, a beneficial side effect, not the primary objective. Okay? People who are overweight are toxic as well. I mean, everyone's toxic. But people who are overweight don't just need to lose weight. They need to give the body a chance to cleanse and heal itself. Cleansing and healing should always be the primary objective because it's far more important than whatever amount of weight loss needs to happen. So we give the body a chance to cleanse and heal. And people who are overweight lose weight much faster than people who aren't. Honestly, Amalia, and again, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but every fasting expert who's ever lived has always said the same thing. You don't fast more than about 5 days or so without experienced guidance. Let me guide you through the process via Skype if getting here is not possible. If you can get here, come here. If not, I can guide you through Skype, and I'll guarantee you that if you can follow my coaching when you're done, you're going to be healthier than you've been in a long time, maybe ever, okay? Because that's what happens. It's that powerful, okay? I'm going to take a question here from Instagram if I can see it. I've got to change my camera angle, my phone angle. Can you talk about the dog again? What type of bones can we give it? I'm vegan. My dog eats a lot of veggies, raw only dog food and treats, but we don't give her bones. Okay. Give your dog, as I said, steak bones. Okay, not chicken bones. They have to be beef bones. They have to be bones that aren't going to come apart when they chew on them. Chicken bones can crack, they can choke, it can kill the dog. So give the dog beef bones, okay? Do not give your dog dry dog food. Do not give your dog dry dog treats, okay? No species on the planet eats dry food except humans, the most dehydrated species of all, okay? Don't give any animal anything dry unless you want to dehydrate it and kill it prematurely, because that's what happens. Okay, these cats need meat. They get wet food only, no dry food. No animal should ever eat dry food. Now, humans, we may choose to eat some dry food, but we can do it to ourselves. We should do it understanding what we're doing, right? So, but it's always harmful, and you're going to have to make up for it. And you definitely don't want to make it a consistent practice. For me, if as I mentioned, I'll be in Tulum. If I go to a raw vegan restaurant, I might eat something that's dried, but that's something that hasn't happened. When's the last time I was at a raw vegan restaurant? I can't think. Yeah, it was back in, I was at Michael Clapper's house. We actually met for lunch at a raw vegan restaurant, that serves raw food, had a raw meal together, and then went to his house to hang out. That was back in early December. Okay. So, for me, it's something that happens once every 3 or 4 months, maybe, or maybe a few times when I'm traveling, every 3 or 4 months, and it doesn't happen again. It's all fresh food here. It's not something you want to be doing consistently. Okay. But dogs, give the dog only fresh, high water content food, because dry food is going to dehydrate them just like it dehydrates you and I. It makes a huge difference to them, to how healthy they are, just as it does to you. Okay. Linus Bartasius, hello Linus, Linus, I'm not sure, has made a €5 contribution and said, hi Loren, I hope to meet you in Costa Rica very soon. My girlfriend has a question. Is it possible to raise a baby on a fruit, raw, vegan diet? Absolutely. I have seen many babies raised this way. In fact, well, it wasn't a baby, but I parented a little girl for a couple of years who was raw vegan and was the healthiest child I'd ever seen. I've known other children raised this way. In fact, I have many clients who have little babies who are all raw. Hopefully there'll be one here soon. I mentioned Katie. Well, I've already spilled the beans. Katie is pregnant. I'm not sure if she's announced to the world yet, so maybe hold off on congratulations. It's too early because you never know what happens. Sometimes pregnancies aren't successful, even though there's pregnancy. It's maybe too early to know for sure. But Absolutely. The ideal human diet is fruit and soft, tender leaves. For babies, the only difference is breast milk early on, and then after that, fruit and leafy greens only. And every baby will thrive eating this diet if it's done properly. Okay, no question whatsoever about that. Okay, not sure how to pronounce this. This is HRRSRLS. Herschels has made a €10 contribution and said, "Hi, Loren. Aren't there any health concerns regarding the way you have access to the internet there in Tanglewood? What's the difference between this microwave antenna and Wi-Fi?" Well, the difference is that Wi-Fi, you're broadcasting a very powerful signal, or a signal which is affecting you very negatively right within your own space. Here, what happens is there's an antenna on the roof, which the tower broadcasts a signal. It's picked up by an antenna on the roof and then distributed to each location with a cable, where most of that signal is contained within the cable. It is a lot safer. There's no question about it. It's dramatically safer. And I would never, I'm going to be staying in a hotel where there's Wi-Fi. It's just what happens. But again, for me, it's something that I'm exposed to, maybe 20 or 30 days a year, where the other 90% of the year I'm not exposed to it. I live in a place where there's no cell phone signal, no Wi-Fi whatsoever. The radiation emanating from these cables is nothing. The most powerful point is on the roof, far from where we are. It's not something that's really affecting us very much because we're not close to it. So yeah, it's a lot better using this Ethernet than it is any other way. It's a lot safer for anyone and everyone. No question about it. Okay, Amalia's back and said, "My doctor said a 500 calorie a day protein sparing modified fast would get me into ketosis, would keep my muscle, unlike a pure water fast." Amalia, I don't know of any. I'm trying to think of a polite way to say this, but the chances are good that your doctor doesn't know the first thing about this, not even a tiny bit. I mean, most doctors don't. There's no diet that includes calories that comes close to giving you the same benefits. You don't need to worry about muscle sparing. It is not an issue. It is not a concern. It's just something you don't ever have to think about. When you're done your fast, your body will have consumed some muscle. It doesn't matter. It's going to be more efficient than it's ever been, and you're going to rebuild muscle so easily. It's not an issue, okay? It's these friggin' doctors who keep pushing these, what do they call it? Fasting. It's like fasting. Like you get all the benefits of fasting. No, you don't. Not even close. There's no comparison whatsoever. You do this. I mean, what your doctor is telling you is starve yourself for some period of time. This is idiotic. Okay. I mean, honestly, these doctors are clueless. Practically clueless. Okay, and I don't know your doctor. I can't speak about what this doctor does and doesn't know, but certainly they didn't learn anything about this in medical school. Okay, this person probably knows nothing about fasting. There is nothing more powerful or beneficial for you than fasting, but you need to fast. You can't kind of fast. You can't almost fast. It doesn't work. You don't get the same benefits. Not even close. It's not even close to the same thing. Okay, honestly, if you want to create an amazing level of health and vitality, the only way that's going to happen is by actually fasting. Okay? You don't have to think about a protein-sparing modified fast. There's no such thing as a modified fast. You're fasting or you're not fasting. Okay? Fasting is the most powerful way to allow your body to cleanse and heal itself. Every species does it. Okay? They don't suffer because they lose muscle. They rebuild muscle. It's not a big deal. Okay? You rebuild muscle faster, more efficiently than ever. You build the healthiest body possible only if you fast. Because if you're eating food at all, you are not cleansing. I mean, it's a tiny fraction of the amount of cleansing and healing that actually happens. It's a joke compared to actual fasting. Honestly, I mean, we stay full here. I don't need you to fast with me. I want you to fast with me because I know how to get you the best results possible, guaranteed. But what you do is up to you, and it's okay with me either way. Okay? But you're not going to come close to getting the same benefits if you're eating food. It's not fasting. It's not fasting. Okay? There's no such thing as a modified fast. It's like saying, I'm not celibate, I'm modified celibate. I only have sex every once in a while, but it's like celibacy. No, it isn't. It's not, there's no in between. You're fasting or you're not fasting. The benefits accrued with fasting, not with kind of fasting or almost fasting. Okay? It's not the same thing. All right? Okay, Alexis De Prato is in the house, has made a €5.49 contribution and says, hello, Loren, should we warm up before training, then stretch? And most importantly, is there any science behind stretching? Because I don't believe it. Well, here's the thing. Animals don't necessarily do a stretching routine before they go off and be physically active. But animals are fully hydrated. Animals who live in nature, who are eating the diet their body was intended for, are going to be fully hydrated all the time. The problem is that most humans are dehydrated, and being dehydrated means your muscles are tight. So if you're fully hydrated, you probably don't have to worry too much about stretching. If you're not fully hydrated, it would make sense to do a little bit of warm up, right? You can do I teach clients to do jumping jacks or something like that, maybe some twists just to get the body moving, get the blood flowing, engage their muscles, whatever it is, just get things moving a little bit. And then once things are warmed up, then you can do some stretching, right? Right, we stretch the muscles by, there are lots of things we can do, right? But we want to warm up first because you don't want to try to stretch a cold muscle. That is beneficial. Science, I haven't really looked to see. I mean, are you asking me if there's studies that show? I don't know. I've never looked for them. Remember that the lack of studies doesn't mean something's not valid. Not everything has been studied, okay? I don't know that anyone's ever studied that a bullet to the brain will kill you. I've never seen a study that shows that being shot in the head will kill you, but I'm pretty sure it will. We don't need a study to know some things. So whether studies exist or not, I'm not sure. I can't say. But that doesn't necessarily make any difference. There are many athletes who can tell you that it definitely makes a difference to them. But the point is that most people are walking around dehydrated and so with tight muscles all the time. Ideally, what happens is when we get to the point where we are, we're so well hydrated that we stay flexible and we don't have to really do much to worry about that. I typically don't stretch, but I stay very flexible all the time. And so it's really a non-issue. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right. I'm going to have to end this a little early. I was actually thinking maybe we would broadcast live today from out here, but this broadcast takes place during breakfast, and people probably would have wandered in and out, but I decided not to. Right now, the group is getting ready to head out for their big waterfalls hike. This is a big hike. It's about 2.5 kilometers down. That's no big deal. It's about 2.5 kilometers back up. That's a much bigger deal. They're going to spend the day swimming in the pools and hanging out in this spectacularly beautiful place. They're going to hike in a bunch of watermelons and cutting boards and knives and enjoy themselves. And it should be a great time. They'll probably be nice and tired by the time they get back, in time to sleep for my presentation this evening. Hopefully we'll keep their eyes open for it. We'll see. I'll do my best to keep them awake. But I'm going to go ahead and end here, say goodbye. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. It's a pleasure being with you again this morning. Thanks, everyone, so much for being here with me, for sharing this time, and for your generous contributions. Those of you that contributed. If you have found this valuable, please give it a thumbs up, whether you're here on Instagram or here on YouTube. Please give this a thumbs up if you think this is valuable information that could help other people. I certainly believe so. And feel free to share this. There's a recording here that you can share on your channels and pages as well. I hope you'll do that. I hope you'll have a fantastic weekend. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.